Hey everybody, welcome to today's next level session here at Inside Real Estate. We are streaming over to YouTube. If you happen to be watching a replay on YouTube, go ahead and like the YouTube channel and share it with your friends and smash the subscribe button and all those other things. Don't have much today. These sessions are for questions and answers. We explore advanced topics related to driving traffic and converting leads with your kvCORE system and the other products and services we have here at Inside Real Estate. So feel free to chat in. Let me know if there's something you'd like to talk about today. I just have a few little things, but nothing really big. The first thing I have is TikTok ads. We talked about this a few weeks ago. If you look through the playlist of replays, we did a session about how to use the TikTok dashboard. And in the last few weeks, I've tried to check in on the TikTok platform and actually get my credit card live, which I eventually was able to do. I figured out maybe it doesn't like MasterCard. I have no idea why, because I use that card a lot. It was fine. So I finally got another card in. But in the meantime, what seems to have happened is they added a business type experience similar to what Facebook has. So I ended up yesterday and today trying to get that business type experience set up. And then I was running an ad today and got really far. I tried to do a lead generation ad, and then I tried to do a straight up click to website ad. And again, from the earlier session we did, this is very similar to Facebook's flow. They seem to have copied it, right? The problem is I keep running into bugs, and maybe some other people aren't. And I need to maybe I need to go take a class on this, but I keep running into bugs such as I am not able to use a custom identity here, no matter what I try. I'm trying to not use a TikTok account. I'm trying to link it up to a custom identity, and everything I do, I keep running into these little weird things. Like over here, the video I made keeps coming as validation error. So the moral of the story is go ahead and give TikTok ads a try. There's probably an opportunity to be a first mover, an early adopter of this. But for my money right now, I'm going to keep trying, but I'm not going to keep banging my head against this wall too hard. I'm going to keep chipping away at it and try to get it to work. But it's still very beta and alpha in my opinion. Probably the better approach to take with TikTok would be to just create a TikTok account and start making some real estate related videos. And I think there's a lot of people out there. I've seen them in groups. I think Travis Tom, who has a pay-per-click marketing agency, real estate agency, I think he's starting to do some stuff this way. Just follow along and try to do some things. But I have not cracked this nut yet, and that's kind of my update. Sorry, I wish I had more for you guys, other than to save you some time pulling your own hair out, experiencing what I am. Or if you are pulling your hair out, just know that you're not alone. All right, so Tom's mentioning a quick issue with Next Level. I might not play this now, Tom, but you're saying that there are things that are not, there are some broken links. It could be that I've moved something, so I will save this and look at it right after the session. It's possible that if they're talking about a link in here, maybe I moved where that resource was, or I changed the name of the resource, and it's totally possible. It happens all the time. And then the link that I had pre-existing doesn't work anymore. I'd be surprised if they all weren't working, though. That would be weird. If you are trying to get to the lead generation trainings, if you go into the tutorials section of the members area, you should see all of these topics in the tutorials section. So just for everybody who's wondering, we have our Next Level members area. If I go to tutorials right here, and then I preview this, all course lessons here. So all of this content lives right here. And I did about a month ago make some changes, Tom, now that I'm remembering. It's possible that I renamed some of these. And when I renamed them, the string in the URL changed, not remembering. This is probably what I did, not remembering that I linked to that from over in the growth system section. And I can fix that page up for you after this session. So I assume that's what's going on. So yeah, these right here. I'll get those changed up. I should have them all in this section. It was just getting cluttered, and I figured it would be easier to link over. Okay, so some Next Level housekeeping. Again, TikTok ads, a little rough. Our Facebook, our new construction ad from last week did a handful of leads at about $4 or $5, but I haven't gotten back around to testing that again. But just know that that flow worked really good. For those of you who weren't on, we did a session about a new construction growth system, which is a really good niche to pursue. So I'm not seeing other questions. Does anybody have any section of kvCORE that you'd like me to dig deep on? If not, I'm just going to kind of pick one. I was kind of thinking a little bit today about the Smart CRM page and filtering. There's sort of some things there that we like to touch on here and there that maybe people new to the system aren't too familiar with. So maybe I'll just spend a few minutes on this while you guys ask any questions, or to sort of prime the pump and get any questions that you might have. Get some questions coming to mind for you. So our Smart CRM page, when we come here, a few things I'd like to point out is that you do have the ability to customize the way that your leads look on this page and the data that shows for each one by going to the columns tab up at the top right. Sheila, that sure is. So go ahead and ask that question. I'm coming in and out on the sound. Interesting. Here, I'll just fix that quickly. That is strange. Let me fix that. I'm closing some programs on my computer. Sometimes that can be the culprit. Somebody else let me know if you have sound issues. Good questions, guys. We'll get to all of them. Okay, thanks, Lauren. So on the main CRM, Smart CRM page, you have this ability to add columns. And you can see some of them are checked off by default and some of them aren't. And it's kind of cool that you can do this. So just so you know, you can like toggle on the capture method. You can see what agent a lead might be assigned to in your office and some other things here. So, and you can see if you're in an admin view, you could sort by agent, for example, and you can sort by all of these columns right here. So last visit is a really good one to sort by. So you see how I'm clicking on these and you can sort your data based on when they last visited. Another good one, I think we used to have alerts in this view. See, I always thought that was a really good one to see somebody who doesn't have alerts set up. Perhaps we've changed that. We may have. Activity right here. In this column, you can see kind of how many actions the person has taken. You can see some of my people have gotten 358 emails there. They're getting the property alerts every day. So keep in mind, you can add columns, you can sort by the different statuses, next action, capture amount, and the fields right here. Another thing I'll point out is the filters. A lot of people don't see this little button right here, but you can filter and find leads based on their status, based on who they're assigned to, if they're assigned to a lender, if they're shared, if you've shared leads with specific agents in your team, contact details like what type, are they buyer, seller, renter, vendor, or an agent. So if you want to sort of filter all the agents that you're recruiting, there's a quick button there you can do that with. Of course, you can filter by hashtag and by not hashtag. So you can exclude people who are in a specific hashtag as you're building a list. And for any of these, you have the ability, scroll through, you can do has search alerts, no search alerts. You have the ability to build a preset search out. So let's just say I want to select my hashtag deals, 727 deals, or deals as an example. I can save this filter. So I will apply it here. And then I can, up at the top, I can check off a box. Make sure I save the filter here, down at the bottom. I have to hit save first. That would help, right? And then now we have this button that says pin this filter as a quick link at the top of your CRM. You used to have to do this in 2 separate motions, but now I can save my filter and it'll put it up top here as a quick link. And I kind of scroll through them. I've made a lot of examples. Probably gotta clean this up. But you can see that one I just created, deals, will let me get to a list of contacts very quickly. And then these save filters also come into play when you're doing things like sending. Probably the most common place it's going to come into play is when you send a scheduled mass email, which we talk about a lot. You're able to choose a saved filter right up top here. So I can choose everybody who's in that filter and send an email to them. So we didn't have a lot of questions when I started talking about our Smart CRM. So just a reminder, you can sort, you can filter, and do lots of fun stuff with the Smart CRM. And now I'll dig into some of these great questions you guys have here. Okay, so Okay, Jeffrey's asking, how would you initiate a second campaign with hashtags? Okay, yeah, this comes up a fair amount, and it speaks to sort of the power of the marketing automation that's built into kvCORE. So I'm going to show everybody how I have set this up, where I have one smart campaign that hands over leads to another smart campaign as it finishes. So I'm not going to build it step by step here in the interest of time, and because we do have a lot of questions now, but I'll show you the two campaigns and how I'm doing the handoff. So the first campaign, this is loading very slow. Hopefully it's not my internet. And if it is, I apologize. Let's see. So let's look at a nurture campaign that I have live. I have my buyer nurture 1-year campaign. And then the thing I want to highlight is in the rules of the second campaign. So this is the campaign that I move people over to from the first, but I have a rule in this campaign that says, hey, this campaign starts whenever I assign the hashtag nurture. Nurture. Let's see. And nurture. There we go. I had a typo in that, but I bet it was working. I probably had the typo in both places because I know this is happening. Pretty sure. Or last time I showed the example, I switched it. So I'm saying, hey, whenever this campaign needs to be triggered whenever the word nurture, the hashtag nurture, is applied to a contact. So that's the important details. That's part one. So have your second campaign fired off of a rule. And then what we're going to do is within the first campaign, so hopefully, I think I've done this in the waterfront campaign we use here a lot. I think I've done this. Yes. In this first campaign, I have an action here. You can see on day 14, might be small on your screens, but it says transition to longer term follow-up. And my task, that's not it. Sorry, this is a reminder to myself to manually do that. The way that I would automate it is to come into the campaign. That's my scope. Okay. I apologize, guys, because I'm often in admin accounts and in my own account, and some of these campaigns run from the admin account. I'm looking sometimes at the wrong thing. This is the campaign here, where on day 8, I'm assigning a tag. I'm adding nurture tag to transfer to 1-year buyer nurture campaign. And if you look at how this is set up, it's an add tag action, and I'm adding that tag nurture. Okay, so if I add an action here, I can add the hashtag nurture. I know that was very long and roundabout way to get to this. So first campaign has an action at the end that adds a tag to it. The second campaign is triggered by that tag. Hopefully I've dealt with that thoroughly enough. Okay. I'm not sure, Jeffrey, you're saying it's too confusing, but that's it. So all you do is you have your first campaign, you add a tag with the hashtag in it, and then the second campaign is triggered by that hashtag. It seems too simple. That's it, though. That's how easy it is. And then we had another question. Somebody wants to see the creation of a new campaign from scratch. I can do that. Let me see. The best way to learn how to do this is to do it. So come into the campaigns, click add campaign right here. Then we are going to pick a rule for when we want our campaign started. So in this case, we're saying, hey, this is a campaign is only triggered when we add a hashtag. I have the always run, the locked, all this stuff. The always run means that it will run if other campaigns are also running with it. I generally am sticking this on to no. As a rule of thumb, there's some ins and outs to this that there's some documentation you can read in the help desk, but I generally just have it set to no. You pick who the campaign is designed for. In most cases, I feel that this is irrelevant. You can pick any of these things, just in my opinion. You can pick all or just pick buyer or seller. You give the campaign a name of campaign. It requires a description, so you put a little description there so you understand what it's for. Click next. And then we click finish. And that's how you add the campaign. Now, in the next few weeks, we are going to have a much more user-friendly experience around campaigns, around how to add things to them. So that's something to look forward to and something that I've been really asking for a long time as well as other people. So Todd's asking, how do you get the content into the campaign? So that's the next thing that I'll show. So I'm just going to pick right here. What you do is you click add action up at the top. You go into the campaign the way I just did. So you go to the campaigns page, click on the campaign, click add action, and you're going to choose any of the actions here. So it'll be an email or a text for content, right? And then we have these other sort of things you can do that aren't specifically content, but the content itself is, if I'm doing an email, and then template would be an existing email template. And this is where I pull my hair out and want to throw my computer out the window alongside all of you guys. And the thing that I've been asking to get changed, which is being changed, I think it's done. It's built. I think it's just in testing. The guys are getting it ready to be released. This is where it gets hairy, because if you don't have a template with the email content or the text content or whatever pre-built, you have to back out of this, go to templates, and create a new email template. So this is all being fixed, which is very good. Very good. But that's how you do it right now. Okay, so think of it this way. You need to create templates with the content in it, and then you need to add those templates to your existing campaigns. I've done a number of webinars about this. I'm just going to Google conversation starting smart campaigns. Maybe Forge. Hopefully it pops right up for me. This has to be either my internet connection, which was really bad this morning. It's a little bit windier than usual here. I assume that was it. Because it shouldn't take me 20 minutes to have Google load a search. But here's a link to a video webinar that I've done. It shows the recommended methodology, so to speak, for not only building campaigns step by step, but with the current layout, but also some best practices. Okay, I'll go back up through all your questions, guys. Thank you for all the questions. Okay, Richard's asking, how can I set up a lender on the website? If you're an admin, I believe you can just go in and do it. But if you're not an admin, you have to ask the person who's an admin on your site to add the lender and assign them to you. So that's how you do that. If you are the admin, I think it's just in the settings in the Web and IDX somewhere. I haven't looked at that in a little while. It actually, yeah, right. You see where it says lenders right here. I think it'll be the same for an admin. So the admin adds it and makes it available to specific agents, and then it'll show up here for you. You'll be able to see it. Okay, I'm going to move along. We got a lot of questions here. Mercy's asking, where can I find pre-construction or assignment sales listings so I can send to my client through the alerts? Well, the way that we did the new construction funnel last week was we just took listings that are listed in our MLS as being new. So they're either in construction and in the MLS now, right? Because an agent's listed it, but it's in the process of being built, or it's like less than a year old. I think that's usually how we quantify new. It's like year built, 2021 or newer would come up as new construction. So the way that we build that list is by going and building a squeeze page under lead engine, and you can choose the option for newly built, like so, right down at the bottom in options. Hopefully that helps. The other way to do it, if you want to get a little more manual about it, is to look for new builder projects and maintain your own list, which is kind of a cool way to do it too. You know, if you become sort of you want to own that niche, you get to know all the builders and you have them send you that stuff way before it hits the MLS. Juan's asking, is there an easy way to see who is actually opening up emails? The only way really right now is from the main dashboard page here under all activity and then email events. And we built this feature in here. There's no other great way to sort by it. But just keep in mind that Apple in particular, and now some other of the big tech companies are following suit with the same thinking. You know, they're kind of either over reporting all this or hiding the fact that an email is opened or clicked on. It's not super accurate. You know, something might track as an email open in Apple, for example, just because it was delivered. So it's nothing we can do on our end. It's just the way that these big email providers are handling things these days around privacy that's making this a little less of a useful thing to track and look at. You know, you'll get some indication from it and the data is useful in some ways. A better way to do it would be to be creating content that you know people will engage with, that you want people to engage with, and then use trackable links. You know, an interesting thing you could do. I'm getting a really geeky next level idea. This might be a little too much information, but for some people it might be useful. You could append parameters to the emails you send, and I'll just show what I mean by that. If you have no idea what I'm saying, just forget you heard me say this. But if you wanted to, you probably could. I shouldn't even go down this rabbit hole, but let's do it. Let's say I was linking to this page right here. Okay, I have this page with deal links, and it should work for any link. And I added a parameters like a question mark at the end and said question mark. You Google what parameters are, but question mark recipient. Recipient equals, okay? If I really wanted to know who was opening my email or who was clicking on the email in particular, I could merge in this URL into an email, and then I can put recipient, and then I can use the little personalization option right here. Lead email. Oops, I overwrote the whole thing. There we go. So I had it highlighted. Lead email. And if I did that, then I could look in Google Analytics. I can see all the times this URL is getting hit on my site. Woo, but that's a lot of work for, I'm not sure what the upside is. Yeah, so it would track and it would show up. And then you could run a search in Google Analytics for any time recipient shows up in a string, and you would see all the people who've clicked over. Not ideal. Sorry, and I almost want to apologize for anybody who goes down that rabbit hole, because I promise you're not going to make a lot of money knowing this. I don't think you will, unless you're going to actually sit down and follow up with each of these people individually. I think a better use of time and effort is to create really good real estate related content, like awesome tours of great deals you know about. You know, go to the house, take a video, and at the end of the video say, hey, if you want to have any question about this property, here's my cell number, call me. And then you'll have people calling you. That's always kind of been, you know, the attraction marketing side of all of this, where if you create the content, you use kvCORE to distribute that content, then people will contact you and you don't have to chase them. All right, I'll get off that one, but it is a good question. Okay, just going down the list, guys. I'll get to your question eventually. So Sheila, I apologize, but you're saying agents are getting kicked out of rotation, possibly because they haven't cleaned the lead quickly enough. But when they do log in, it's not putting them back in. I think you might have to check with support, but I think the answer is that you need to activate them manually. Is that correct? I don't know if that's correct 100%. I can find out here. possibly. Bear with me. I think that's the answer. And the way you can do that is from Business Analytics. I need to log into an admin account to do that for you. Verify that. Okay, I was able to get in pretty easy to the system. Just take me a second. Your hopefully your account manager can answer that pretty quickly, or support team. I'll go in and show you what I'm talking about though. Okay, here it comes. So if I go to Business Analytics, I think it's in Agent Performance. You can see the rotation status right here. You can click on that and put them back in. Maybe you already knew that, but I'm not sure that it automatically does it. That would be the account manager support question. Okay. A dash CMA, Tom, is an earlier version of Core Present. It's very similar. So it's a CMA tool, a presentation tool, and it's available from the marketplace. If your company has Core Present, a lot of brokerages have that as an add-on. Then you probably won't see it. But if you're seeing that, then you can probably add it on. And it's I think it's $40 a month. It's a really good presentation tool. Sheila's asking, is there a bulk action to add a note to a sorted list? No, but that's a really great idea. I haven't heard that one come up ever actually, but I'm sure it has, but that's a really good idea. So you just kind of grab the filter like this, and you want a more action, and you want to be able to add a note right here. So unfortunately, there's no way to add a note specifically, but what you could do, maybe this will help you, is just create a new hashtag, and you can make the hashtag your note. It's not perfect, but mailed Xmas card, and you can even say like 12/20/20, 22, like the date, and then you'll be able to filter by everybody you mailed the Xmas card to. So that's the closest I got, and it would be usable in that sense. It would show up in the timeline of the user too as an added hashtag. It just wouldn't show up as a note. Okay, going through. Tom's asking, where can we get the campaign code after the live webinar? Which campaign, Tom? Let me know and I can find it real quick. Juan, I'm getting to the second part of your question, or I answered that in a really long-winded way. I apologize. Yeah, the only way I think is by going through everyone's profile, or if you just sent an email, then going to the dashboard here and looking for email events and all activity, you go to email events, that'll kind of show you the most recent people opening stuff. So, and then you'll know based on the subject line. You can see most of our opens here, just to read here, most of these are property alerts. Here's one where it was open and clicked. Mary, the basics of kvCORE, I think the best thing for that is to do the Agent Quick Start course. We have a pretty in-depth course available from support and training and courses. And the weekly webinars for that occur before this webinar at 1 p.m. Eastern. So an hour before this session, and we do each in 4 parts to kind of walk you through. But the quick start course will give you step by step by step. It's kind of hard for me to do all that, in the scheme of all these questions. But definitely the first step is going to be to log in and take that quick start course. Jeff, yeah, if your business page gets hacked and you lost ads manager access, the only thing you can do is Facebook support and cross your fingers. Facebook support Maybe they're getting better now that their stock's being hammered so badly as a consequence of some of these things, because they don't treat their advertisers very well. And if they don't answer you, I apologize. Your only recourse is going to be to create another one. I've had to do that a number of times myself, either from being hacked or, I say a word that they don't like. I mean, in an ad, literally, like if they think you're an affiliate marketer back in the day, you get your ad accounts shut down and they want to appeal. I've had real estate accounts shut down where I was running real estate ads, but they just thought something was suspicious. Their bot, it's usually the bot thinks something is suspicious about an image or something. Todd's saying he's added emails to the templates library, but they're not showing up in the search. They should. Again, this experience is going to be much better because you're going to be able to just add the email content in line. It's going to be wonderful. But one thing to watch out for might be when you created the template, there's a couple of places, remember what you named the template here, and see the scope up here. If you're an admin, make sure you're creating it either for yourself or for the whole team. But it should show up. If it's not, that's more of a support engineer type thing. I might need our support team. The code I share in a live webinar, Tom, if you mean a campaign share code, I usually put that right below in the description of the webinar. So on our new construction one, it's usually in the description. I know I put it in the next level members area for the one specific one last week. It looks like I didn't for some reason. I apologize, put it here under the YouTube video. If that's the one you're looking at. The best way around emails going to spam is to use less HTML in your emails and alter the subject lines. Try not to use templates that everybody else is using. That's your best. And I don't know how they're all going to spam. If just know that if you are sending yourself test emails, sometimes Gmail in particular thinks that it's spam because it's they think you're trying to send yourself a spoofed email from yourself and it gets confused and there's this little spam notification. But otherwise, yeah, it has to do with using the same content that's been reported as spam in the past and having too much HTML in the actual email itself sometimes can do it. Too many links, but it's a tough one. Kelly's saying it would be great to be able to automatically assign a hashtag based on engagement. That would be sick. So what you mean, and the place I would go for that, let's go right here. So if I were building that, if I was going to tell our team where that would go, probably go to behavioral automation and say, hey, anytime a lead visits the site 5 times, I want the ability to assign a hashtag. That would be really good. Yeah, that's a great idea. So we would have, you see, right now we did a webinar about this 2 weeks ago, all about different scripts that we would put in here. But it would also be very nice to be able to assign a hashtag when this happens, and that should be buildable. So I'm going to feature request that one. That would be really cool. So they visit the site, or they, maybe if somebody visited for the 5th time, I think we have that, but there's some other things we could hashtag based on for sure. Mariam, there's no birthdays campaign per se. You can create a campaign that's date-based. There's also a birthdays and anniversary setting where you can automatically send a text and an email. Set that up right here whenever there's a birthday added to the system, but we don't have a specific campaign for that. This is kind of the yearly holiday campaign. And you can also build one of those yourself. See, when you create smart campaigns, there is this option. It's a little tricky to use, but you can see start campaign when specific date occurs. And you can trigger a campaign based on a birthday, the purchase anniversary, or a specific date that runs annually. So you'd say we'll use Christmas as our example, every December 15th, we might start some kind of holiday campaign that triggers something in the mail. Maybe it sets a task up for us to call and wish at, send a core video. And then, on the date itself, maybe it'll text Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. So you can do that in here. It's just a little wonky. Not wonky, it's a little buried here. You got to kind of play with the settings. And again, this whole interface is going to be slightly different soon, but it is baked into the system. Oh, where do we get the Q&A when we view recordings? Are they lost forever? You mean the chat log? I don't think this chat log is. Zoom gives us a spreadsheet we could download, but some of what's in here, people are private messaging me too, so I don't think we would share that. Mercy's asked, do we have our own website? Yeah. When you're logged into kvCORE, a few ways to get to that. You could click on your name at the top right, and you'll see a link to it right here at the top right. If you click, it'll go over to that link. And there's also the web and IDX section right here. You'll see your domain up at the top left, and then you can start to make some setting changes. Yeah. I think I got to the end of the questions. Here. Okay, great questions, guys. Jeff, do you have it? Forward me the email you got from Facebook. I'm not sure what I would be able to do, or show me a screenshot of what Facebook is telling you, and I might be able to help, but I'm not sure. So a happy holiday campaign that kvCORE creates, I suppose we could build one and put one in the library, but it would just be, yeah, I could create that. It's just a couple of touches that you would add, and then I could share the code, I guess, or we could have it added to the library. We may have, let me look in the library, actually. Let me not assume that we don't. Yeah, maybe not. Are you trying to get a link, Tom? If you want to copy and paste the link, just click the link and then you can copy it out of your browser. That would be how to get something out of this chat. Yeah. Okay, good question from Tamara. Could you show how to upload a document to an email sent from kvCORE? Oh, okay. Yeah, how to include a document. Attachments are coming soon, but if I'm sending an email, I'll just use our mass email option here. But this would be any email. All you would do is link to the document. So you need to get your document on the web. Okay, and a few ways to do that. You could use Google Drive. So I could go to Google Drive and then just click New, File, Upload. I'm just going to upload this picture. And then I can share the link to it. So copy the link here. So there's some sharing settings in Google Drive, but so I would get the link and then I would say, hey, click here. Access. And then I can use the little chain link up at the top here. That's kind of how we hyperlink stuff, and click save. Then click here to access whatever it is. So that would be how you do it. Soon we will have attachments. Another easier way to get the thing online is this docdroid.net. It's just a free service that I've used and haven't had any issues with. Docdroid.net, and then you can just upload stuff, and it'll give you a link very quickly to the thing that you're uploading. Well, it's gonna make you do a CAPTCHA. I got it right. It's the first time. Okay. Oh, and I uploaded JPG. They didn't want that, but yeah. I mean, if you're gonna do an image, then you would just upload the image. But yeah. Tom, I was saying, if you want a link that's in the chat, just click the link. And then when it opens up in your browser, copy the link. So I'm clicking the YouTube link I shared earlier for Conversation Starting Smart Campaigns. I just clicked it and it opened my browser. And then I can just copy the link right here. I don't know why Zoom doesn't allow copy and paste. It's very strange. So there's a question about how to get everything under the one item in the navigation on the website. And the example is I have my stuff you might like right here, and I have a bunch of stuff under it. The way to do that is when you build your custom pages and links, you're going to put them in a category. So if I go to Web and IDX, and I go to Site Content, and then Custom Pages right here. Oh, I'm not in my account anymore because I had logged into the admin account. But I would add a new page, and then I would put that page under a category right here. I'm going to show how it looks. How it looks on my site. So here's all my custom pages. And then each one, you can see I have it in the category stuff you might like. And the category becomes the top link up at the top. So I've been adding all kinds of weird stuff here. Okay. Yeah, Mary, I'm not sure the holiday campaign, like for, you mean all the holidays, like a happy, that's actually a hard one. If you want just an automated campaign to go out for every holiday, because it wouldn't quite be date based. You'd have to do a series of recurring things that happen every year. I would just I would just use the system to send happy holiday messages. We did one for Mother's Day last week. And the feature is marketing, manage campaigns, and add campaign. No, I get a little, guys, my brain gets a little crazy here with all these questions. Not smart campaigns, scheduled mass email. Woo. So I would send an email. See the Mother's Day date one I did last week. So schedule email. And just send an email to everybody and wish them happy, whatever the holiday is. Do unique content. I'm not a huge fan of building canned campaign content because I don't think it does anybody service. I think to stay in business, no matter what our business is, it's real estate or otherwise, in this day and age, we've got to create our own messaging and contacts and let people get to know, like, and trust us using digital marketing. But I'll look into that idea. But the most that I do is I just give examples on these sessions as specific holidays come around. How did I put that moving image on my page? This guy right here, me on the left, that was a session we did about Video Ask. So that's just a third-party service that I added as a demo. So that webinar is in our webinars list here. And it was, I think it was called adding third-party scripts about a month ago. Yeah, this one, I'll copy it in the Zoom chat, adding third-party overlays and scripts. So the way that I did it was I used a third-party service called Video Ask, and they give me a little snippet of code that I put into my kvCORE website. So Anderson, that's answering your question too. That webinar will show you. Yeah, it's called Video Ask. There's a little fee for it. There's probably other solutions that'll do that, but when I click on it, it's kind of, I can talk to people and then I can tree them through specific things. So, and then they can click these different things. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm answering the wrong question. I'm sorry. This video in the background. Yes. So that is a YouTube video. And the way that you add that, my fault, is you go to the website settings, go to Web and IDX, go to Website Manager here. Then we'll edit our settings. And there's a section where you can add a YouTube ID to set as the background. I don't remember where it is. I missed it. 1 second here. Okay. It's under the template section. I just control left my browser. You see this little chat thing that comes up. It's a little hack, Command F on Mac, but Control F, and I just search for YouTube. But you can see I have an ID for a YouTube video popped in here. And that'll set my background to be a YouTube video. So it's under template extras right here underneath the testimonial section. I guess it's about halfway down. And then the YouTube ID, all I did was search for St. Pete, Florida on YouTube. And I just looked for, I spell aerial, aerial footage. Aerial footage is kind of a good way to go. So here's a drone video. This probably exists for everybody. So you come here and then the ID is the little string at the end. Like that. After the V equals in the YouTube video, you take that and then you paste that here. Now remember, this is only viewable from desktop. On mobile, it won't play because we pause it to not slow the site down. It doesn't, I don't think it matters how long the video is. It'll just run for the length of the video. I advertised somebody's Sweetwater kayak business. I never noticed that there. But yeah, it's kind of cool. And then, it doesn't play the audio. It just kind of puts it in the background with it. Gives a tour of the area. Okay, guys, lots of different stuff we jumped around to today. I'll get the replay. It'll be live on the YouTube channel instantly, but we'll get it in the playlist. And I'll try to put timestamps on this one since there were so many different topics. I'll try to put in the description the different things we talked about later today. And then we'll be back tomorrow for another Q&A session here with kvCORE and Inside Real Estate. If you are new, I'm happy to see some new folks on today. Definitely do check out the Quick Start course. So if you go to courses under support and training, and then the accompanying webinars, those are more basic, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And that if you're trying to get brushed up with kvCORE, dig into those, even if you got to take them for a few weeks in a row. And then the stuff I'm doing here might make a little more sense. I tend to jump around and get a little more advanced and off the tangent. Jeff, if you lost admin on the actual business page, maybe somebody took you off. Shoot me a quick email, describe, and I'll see if I can help you. Okay. Yep. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.